Teamwork is fun until it's your turn to do the actual work. And when we are teaming up, the first thing we are trying to figure out is a team leader. So we are trying to answer the questions like who will be the ideal leader, what sort of qualities that leader should possess, so on and so forth. So while we were busy trying to answer those questions, there was one thing that we have forgotten, which is we ourselves are also leaders. And in fact, there's no exact definition for leadership, but there are lots of types of leadership. And because of that, today, we as AIESEC in Sri Lanka, in collaboration with IFS, is going to discuss a type of leadership which is collaborative leadership. So with me, I have Prabath Kudagamage, who is the Vice President Software Operations, who is local leading the Global Support Delivery Organization of IFS, and also Dinushani Wickramarachchi, who is the Senior Manager Software Engineering attached to the Research and Development Organization of IFS as well. So let's talk about collaborative leadership. So let's first start discussing what collaborative leadership is. So let me bring you this example. Take a vehicle. So for a vehicle to run in the first place, it should have fuel. And also a vehicle needs a steering wheel so that it can be steered through the right direction in order to end up in the destination that we are hoping of. And also in a vehicle, there should be wheels that can go through potholes and a lot of harsh roads to end up in a comfortable journey in the destination that we are hoping for again. And also a vehicle should have aesthetic related things like a radio or whatsoever that can bring energy and also kind of a nourishment for our journey as well. Likewise, in a team also, there should be people who can play different roles like essentials in a vehicle. Let me tell you the full example. There should be this person to initiate things in a team, and also there should be a person who is capable of steering a team through the right direction with the farsightedness they have got. And also there should be people who are capable of doing the groundwork unconditionally without complaining like the wheels of a vehicle does. And also there should be people with that charisma who is capable of cracking that joke and bringing enjoyment for the team as well. So it is all about different people identifying their role and playing it accordingly, and that is what make a team collaborative leadership driven team rather than just teamwork. And that is my stand regarding what collaborative leadership is, and I hope Prabhat also would agree with it.
Absolutely, Chamadita. So if you take the heart of the collaborative leadership, it is all about the collaboration, right? So we are living in a kind of a fast moving dynamic world where people need to find solutions for the complex issues that they face day-to-day basis. So people need to use their skill set, experience in order to find these solutions. So this can't be done in isolation. So they need to work together in order to do that. So there is a saying that no one is smarter than all of us. So then we need to use that collective brain power in order to do that. So if you take the traditional leadership, of course the leaders took the kind of a decision on behalf of the team. So the team is not owning the decision. But if you take the collaborative leadership practice, it is something like that the people involved in the project or the team, they take the ownership for the decision that they make. So that's all about the collaborative leadership in that aspect. So the collaborative leaders' responsibility is to make sure that this is happening in a team-centric environment. Basically, it is like they set the kind of stage for the performance. So you talk about IFS. So IFS is product development company. So we develop and deliver cloud-based enterprise solution to the companies all over the world. And at IFS, of course, it's an international environment. So we are working with the colleagues who are all over the world. So that it's collaborative leadership is practiced at everywhere. And so we can discuss about how it is practiced at each and every stage. And also I should say that it's not only happening within IFS. The collaboration is happening with our customers, with our partners as well. So if you take kind of the requirement gathering phase, so our global industry teams, so they connect with our customers, partners, and they try to understand best industry practices so that we can build the product based on that. So once we come to the R&D organizations, of course they use a lot of brain power, right? And in order to add a lot of innovation and value, kind of creativity into products. So once it is released to the market, then what will happen is we have our support teams and the consulting teams. So they will again collaborate with the customers in order to realize the values that we have inbuilt in the product, so that the customer will get the benefit. So likewise, we can discuss more about how it is happening at IFS in detail. So that is what I can say at this point of time, Chamadita. Yes.
Yeah, and also would like to hear from Dinushani as well.
Yes, so Chamadita, as Prabath mentioned, at IFS we are catering to different industries such as manufacturing, aerospace and defense, construction, service industries, and to develop our product to cater to these industries in R&D organization, we have different departments which are focusing on these areas. And not only that, to build the technological infrastructure that is needed to provide a consistent solution across these industries, we have other departments who are specializing in those areas. So in these departments, we do have people from different backgrounds and people who are on different job roles. So we have software engineers, product specialists, program managers, software architects, program managers, user education specialists, UX designers, quality assurance engineers. Likewise, there are a lot of job roles. So each and every people or each and every these persons bring in value to the final outcome, I would say. So it is important that we maintain this collaboration across these teams. So to add another aspect to what we have already discussed, I would say collaboration or collaborative leadership is not just about involving your team members. Yes, it is a part of it, as we discussed, involving your team members and other leaders in your team, but it is much more beyond that actually. As to have a collaborative leadership style effectively, you need to collaborate across departments. You need to talk to members of other teams, leaders of other teams, leaders of leaders, so that everyone bring in their opinion and ideas and all are in sync in achieving one common goal. I think that is an important aspect when we define in what is collaborative leadership style is.
Exactly. So that is about what collaborative leadership is. And also you might be wondering, why should we need collaborative leadership when we can easily get things done through normal teamwork, because there will be people who will be doing work and at the end of the day we are getting things done. So why so bothered about it? But here's the thing. So let's take people, you and I. We all are different from one another, like these 5 fingers. In terms of skills, in terms of backgrounds, in terms of interests, in terms of leadership style, and also in terms of our future desires and everything, we all are different from one another. And that is what makes this world beautiful, and also the things we do of diversity as well. For an example, let's say we want to make the most impactful upload for someone. Not just one finger can make the most impactful upload, not just 2 fingers, we need all the 5 fingers to give that most impactful upload, to appreciate someone, to spread some positive energy. Likewise, people with different skills, different attitudes, different backgrounds can add a remarkable set of colors for whatever the output that we are coming off as a team. So you can identify your own role, maybe in your family, maybe in your organization, or maybe in a country, or even in this world, can remarkably influence the world's development, and also it could directly or indirectly can affect your fulfillment or your goals as well. Yes, so that is about collaborative leadership. So now we know what collaborative leadership is, and now let's talk about why collaborative leadership is important. So you might wonder, okay, we have teamwork and we have at least 2 or 3 people getting the job done, and at the end of the day we are done. So why so bothered about it? But here's the thing. So let me bring you this analogy. You and I, we as people are different from one another. So they take these 5 fingers, just like these 5 fingers are different from one another. You and I have a lot of differences in terms of skills, in terms of backgrounds, in terms of our goals, in terms of the types of leadership, attitudes, so on and so forth. But when we are making an impactful upload, it's not just the 1 finger or not just 2 fingers. We need all the 5 fingers to make an impactful upload. Likewise, having people of same different backgrounds, different skills and different attitudes makes a team more diversified, and that output through that diversity would bring a lot of effectivity rather than doing the traditional teamwork that we are doing of. And I hope Dinushani also would agree with that.
Yes, Chamadita, I love your example. As you mentioned, to have an impactful applause, you need to use all these 5 fingers, which are very much different from each other. So that's similar to the organization. And if I take the analogy you've taken at the beginning of our discussion, in a vehicle there are lots of parts, and each and every part contributes to some aspect or add values to that vehicle. So similarly, in an organization there are people who comes from different backgrounds, who plays different roles, and each and every person add values to the organization. So that is why we need collaborative leadership, because that way we can effectively utilize our talent pools in our organization. And especially in this world now, we are very much fast growing and rapidly moving, and it is important that we find out innovative solutions. Especially if we take IFS is in software development industry, so this is ever evolving, and we need to find creative solutions for the change in market needs, and at the same time we need to provide them in the speed that is required by the market. So in doing so, we need the help from all the people we have, so that they can bring in their thinking, their talent, their mindset, their creativity into developing innovative solutions for the complex problems we are facing. And also, if we take IFS, for IFS specifically, why we need collaborative leadership style is, as Prabath mentioned at the earlier, collaboration is one of the core values at IFS, and as leaders, practicing this leadership style means that we are living our core value while encouraging other members to do so. And in my experience, when we practice collaborative leadership style, people tend to get more engaged and more empowered, and they feel that they are part of the solution. So that is why we need collaborative leadership, Chamatha.
And I hope, being in the industry for quite a time, you also have your own experiences which suggest why collaborative leadership is important.
Yes, Chamitha. I can remember that I started as a software engineer. So soon after some time, then of course when I became a kind of project manager, then of course I thought that I need to find the solution for all the questions or the things that we need to solve. So, but it was not practical. So later on I realized that, okay, then I should not give all the solutions, but I need to get the team involved in, giving the solutions as well. So likewise, then I realized that that will empower the team, and that has helped me to build the team as well. So likewise, it is always important that we have a collaborative approach in the leadership and also within the team approach as well.
Yeah, exactly. So now, without a doubt, we know that collaborative leadership is important, and we know what collaborative leadership is. But now, the real question is, how are we going to have this collaborative leadership aspect, maybe within our organization, maybe within our family, or maybe even in the country? So that is the question. So let me bring you this example through the organization that I have been a part of. So AIESEC. So when it comes to AIESEC, actually I have, throughout the 4 years journey of in my AIESEC journey, I have been working in different teams, and I always have been struggling to identify what is my role as a team player. But most importantly, the major lesson I have learned was actually to be self-aware about the strengths I have, the weaknesses I have, and what sort of uniqueness I can bring to a team, so that whatever the team I get into, I can add my own colors and make that team effective and fruitfully growing. And also in terms of AIESEC, when we recruit a member for our team, for our organization, we always make sure that we are aware about the expectations of that member, because most of the time it's the university students who are volunteering in this organization without even getting paid, but always they are ready to walk that extra mile on behalf of this organization, because they have seen their own growth, and they know there's lots of opportunities that they can gain out of this organization in order to brush up their skills and become a better version of themselves. Simply by knowing the requirements and expectations of those members, we as the organization make sure that we are assigning the right person in the right place, so that they are making sure that they are pursuing their passions and doing things in this organization, and while getting that exposure, that learning makes them live in this organization, and they don't feel like working, but in fact they are living while getting a tremendous growth for themselves. So engagement and exposure is the secret behind giving the growth for our membership. And as AIESEC, we are envisioned to strive to achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. So this fulfillment word, it's a broad word because it's everything we do, and it's all the things that we do for as well, because at the end of the day we want to end up being fulfilled, and we are striving towards that. So throughout the 75 years of AIESEC history, we have been trying to answer what is it like to engage and develop every young person in this world, and that was the question that we have been trying to answer as we strive to achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. And identifying our own role, our own strengths, our own passions, we can make sure that we know what sort of a role that we can play in our family, our organization, our country, and be a value driven as well as a effective person who can contribute in enormous ways. And when we can contribute very well for a team or whatsoever, the output and the effectivity of the outcome that we can get is even more large, which can directly or indirectly influence our own fulfillment as well without us even knowing. And I think Mr. Prabath also would agree with that.
Definitely. So now, and also, like, I mean, we have seen that when we take about the collaborative leadership, we need to empower the people a lot. So in that aspect, sometimes we see that people are coming with different skill set and different mindset. But once they come to the organization, it is important that we support them, mentor them, guide them. So the collaborative leaders' responsibility is to do that, so that we can build up the kind of younger generation as well as our workforce, so that they are ready to take any kind of challenges.
And Ms. Dinushani, I think you also have your own experience that would suggest the implementation of collaborative leadership.
Yes, Chamudita, I noticed one point you brought up, that identify the passion of people. So that is very important, I think, to have this collaborative leadership style being implemented in an organization. You have to place employees at the right place. So identifying the passion of people and placing them accordingly or strategically, I would say, is very important. If I take an example from IFS, so IFS is not just about work. We have a lot of employee engagement activities, team building activities, and not only that, IFS gives back to the society. So we do have organization-wide, team-wide charity events organizing, and in organizing these activities, we often involve our employees in these organizing committees. So when involving these people, we make sure that they are very passionate about these things, and they are very willing to do these things, and they enjoy working or organizing these kind of events. So at the end of the day, with that we end up in a successful event, and at the same time we provide platform for people to showcase their talent, showcase their skill set, and we give opportunities for them. And as you mentioned, this will bring fulfillment to them. And another aspect I would like to bring in when it comes to how we can develop collaborative leadership in an organization, I think it is important to have collaborative mindset, because I believe it should be there embedded in the culture of an organization, so that people are willing to communicate, willing to collaborate, willing to help each other, willing to share knowledge. Otherwise, it will break. So that is important. If we take IFS, we promote collaboration not only within the organization but throughout all our stakeholders. So for an example, we have this space called IFS community, where all our stakeholders are members, and in these IFS community, sometimes our customers post the issues they face when it comes to probably in the IFS product, if they have some questions related to how they can achieve some workflow. Then the partners, employees, they help each other in solving these issues. So that is how collaboration happens. So that collaborative mindset should be there in the culture. And another aspect is you need to have platforms to collaborate, like IFS community, maybe some other means to collaborate. So if I take another example, as I mentioned previously, we have different job roles in our organization, and in different departments. So in R&D organization, we have this bi-weekly or weekly meetups in where people from similar job roles or people who are working on similar operations, they get together and discuss the problems they are facing with. Maybe share the knowledge, share the success stories. So we call them actually guilds. So I myself is part of a software engineering leaders guild, and in that we discuss the operational problems we are facing, or maybe line management related problems that we are facing, or the success stories we have, so that people can learn, or people can get together and solve the problems together. And again, with that software engineering guild, that reminded me that sometimes back we actually refined our job specification. That software engineering leaders refined their own job specification, not only us. That happened for all the other job roles as well, where if we take a product specialist guild, they get together and they refine their own job specification. So at the end of the day, we have a very realistic job specification that shows what is needed in this specific job role, and at the same time we felt sense of ownership towards what is in that document. So those things are very important in developing this collaborative leadership style, Chamadita.
Exactly. So, and the other thing is having the sense of ownership. So there are many ways that we can incorporate collaboration, and it's interesting that IFS is even collaborating with their stakeholders and even the customers to come up with a better product as well. So collaborative leadership is something more than teamwork, and there's a lot of things to come here. And also the most important part is identifying our style of leadership, identifying our own ways of contribution, our strengths and our weaknesses, and contributing for our organization, our country, or the world to make it a better place. And being the best version of yourself would bring you good and your own fulfillment, and nothing less actually. So that is about the discussion about collaborative leadership, and I hope you got a lot of valuable insights about what collaborative leadership is, why it is important, and how you can be a collaborative leader as well. So this is AIESEC Sri Lanka's podcast about types of leadership in collaboration with IFS, and I hope you have got something for yourself and you will become a great leader who will serve your organization or your country or even the world as well. So stay tuned with us. We will be back with more stories about types of leadership. Thank you very much.